What's going on, everybody? Joshua Koch, VYPE Media, now joined by the leader of the Bear Den over there, the Montgomery Bears, John Bolfing, the district champion Montgomery Bears. Coach, it's been 31 years since we've gotten to say that term over in Montgomery. What's Bear Country like right now as district champions? What's the feeling?
I think people around here are really fired up. It's been a fun year. Our kids have played really, really well. We've had some very close games, so it's been a difficult journey to be 9-0 and to be district champs. We've finished, I believe, I was told we finished second place 7 times in the last 17 years. It's been a long time since we won a district championship. So everybody's very fired up about it.
Was there a moment this season that you felt like, hey, this could happen, everything's falling into place? Was there a moment, a game where you kind of felt like everything was falling into place?
Well, I felt like each week we were getting better, which is always a good feeling. I felt like every time we'd go out and we would play, we felt like we were getting better. We might not play great on one side of the ball, but it seemed like the other side of the ball would kind of pick it up. I think when beating A&M Consolidated at their place, I think that was kind of the moment. So, okay, we've got a pretty good team right here. We can compete with some very good teams, and I really, our whole district is I think it's a very solid district from top to bottom. But I think, anytime you beat a program like A&M Consolidated, that says something about your kids and about your team.
And you mentioned your kids. First I want to start on the defensive side of the ball, and the job that Leslie Williams has done. 140 tackles for anybody is crazy, but to do it in 9 games, what has he been like on that side of the ball?
Well, Leslie's a hard worker, a great leader. He's an outstanding tackler, as evidenced by those 140 tackles. He's just a sure tackler, does a tremendous job. He's very smart. He knows the game. He's as good a defensive player as I think we've ever had around here. One of the top we've ever had.
And then offensively, you switch to that side. Jalen Washington looks like a man running on fire this year, over 1,300 yards, and he just hasn't slowed down. Did you expect that kind of season from him?
I knew he was capable of it, absolutely. I think our team, we have a lot of good football players on it, but I think Jalen is an exceptional football player. He's as good a running back as I think as there is around here. He's very fast, he's very powerful, and he's got something about him that's just different than most running backs. So I knew he was capable of it. He had a great season last year, rushed for 1,500 yards, splitting time with another really good running back. So I knew he was capable of it, and he's certainly living up to that.
And of course, QB1 is Brock Bolfing, and your son, and one of the last ones come through there. The other 2 sons have played quarterback as well. Just his play, how have you liked his development this year and taking the reins as a senior quarterback in his final year there?
Brock's going to do what he needs to do to help his team win football games. And this year, we haven't thrown the ball as much as we have in the past. One reason why we graduated up most of our receivers from last year. The other thing is we have done such a good job running the football. So I'm kind of old school in that respect. If we can run the football, we're going to run the football, and we're going to get that clock running, and we're going to try to get a lead, and we're going to try to sit on that lead. So we're not going to throw it just to throw it, So he understands his role. His role is to get the ball to playmakers, and he's done a very good job of that. Been very consistent. I think completed over 60% of his passes. That's his job, and I think he's done it very, very well.
And, I mentioned your other children who've come through Montgomery. Montgomery's been home for you for so long now. And I think I saw a picture the other night after the district championship. I think it might have been either Josh or Tyler was FaceTiming in to see you after the game. A moment like that, what does that mean just to you and your family, just to have that moment on the field there in Huntsville, to kind of celebrate it with the entire Bolfing family?
Well, it's awesome. We had the in-laws and granddaughter and everybody on the Zoom call. It was really a neat moment. And I think the best comment of the night was Brock. He said, "You guys never won one of these," and so got a little jab in at the brothers and also. So it was pretty cool. It was a great moment. They're extremely happy for all of us, just for happy for Montgomery, one, our football program, because they've been a big part of it through the years, and happy for the little brother as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, little brother's he's got some bragging rights now at Thanksgiving this year. He can hold that district. He might just put the district championship trophy on the Thanksgiving table.
That could happen. I could see that.
As you finish up this week and go into the playoffs, I know all this is great in the regular season, but now I know as coaches, y'all flip to the playoffs. How does this team make a deep run in the 2021 playoffs now?
Well, I think we continue to do what we've been doing. First of all, we have a big game against Lake Creek this week, and to end up the season. They're a good football team. I mean, everybody in our district can play, so we've got to finish up strong against them. So that's our focus this week. And then going forward, everybody you face in the playoffs is going to have good players. So you're going to have to be well prepared. But, we're going to do things like we've been doing. We're going to try to play sound defense, try to be sound in the kicking game, and try to run the football, and then come up with some big plays in the passing game. If we can do that and, minimize mistakes, I think we're plus 10 in turnovers, which is huge. We haven't been penalized a great deal. So, I mean, we've kind of put it all together. For us, we're not just loaded all over the place with talent. We've got to be very sound. We've got to be smart. We have to take care of the football, and we have to minimize penalties. And that's what we've been able to do so far. If we can continue to do that, then I think we can play with most people.
And finally, before I let you go, I know you've had successful teams there before at Montgomery. Can you compare this one to anyone in your career? I know in the late, I think in '89, you were coaching a private school and won a state championship at that point. Can you compare this team to any other successful team across the board?
I think that the thing about it is, we've had some really good teams here at Montgomery. We've had some very talented teams here at Montgomery. We've been very successful for, in the last 17 years, we've won over 110 football games. So that's not a bad stat. And we've had some outstanding teams. We've probably had some teams that were more talented than this. Some of those we spent 4 years in 6A. Those are some very, very good teams. We were competing against some outstanding teams as well. But I think this team has that true team factor. I mean, they just get along well. They work well together. They push each other. I think it's kind of reminiscent of our 2010 team that made a pretty deep playoff run. We went 12-2. Kind of reminiscent of that team, I believe. I think it's also reminiscent of our 6A team we had. I think our first 6A team we had in 2013, I believe, when we were in the Spring Klein district. That was a beatdown, but our kids competed really, really well at a very high level. So, I think, when you have good teams, that everybody works well together and gets along well, I think it makes a big difference, and this team certainly does that.
All right, well, he is the head coach of these Montgomery Bears, the district champion Montgomery Bears. You're just going to keep repeating that over and over.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it.
We are enjoying it. Of course, I mean, I'll let other people do all that, but we're just trying to get better each and every week, like every other team in the state is trying to do, and trying to play one more week. That's the goal.
All right, he is John Bolfing, he's the head coach of the Montgomery Bears. Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck this week, and best of luck as you push into the playoffs here in a couple weeks.
All right, Josh, I appreciate it. Thank you.